So folks, I wanted to do a quick video. This is in your post work. This is question from section 13.5 of the textbook, question number 48. And it's from your post-class assignment, and it's question number 2. In this problem, we were asked to find an equation to a plane that passes through a point and is perpendicular to a given line. So hopefully the big takeaway from what we did with planes is that normally what do you need to be able to determine the equation of a plane? We need both a point and a normal vector. And if we know both of those, then we're ready to give the equation. In this case, we were given a point explicitly, but we weren't given a normal vector. And that's how these problems generally go. Usually you've got some information you're given directly, and then you're asked to infer some other information based on some pieces of the puzzle, and you've got to put it all together. So we're trying to build maybe this plane right here that's got this point that is passing through, and we need to come up with a normal vector for it. And in class, what I did was I said, okay, well, if we've got two other points in the plane, we could construct these two vectors, maybe u and v, and the normal vector would just be their cross product. And that's often what you will do to construct a normal vector. But that's not what we're going to do in this case. Instead, in this case, we're told that this plane has a line that's perpendicular to it. So let's just explore what I mean by that. If maybe we have this plane right here, same plane, we'll use a script P for a plane. How could it react? How could it interact with maybe a line? Maybe this is a line passing through it. In this case, we would say that the plane and the line are parallel to one another. Or maybe we've got a plane like this, and then we've got a line that maybe passes through the plane, kind of like, oops, I didn't want to quite do it like that. Let's say maybe the line passes through the plane like this, in which case we would say that the line and the plane were skewed to one another. But that's neither of those are what we're told. We're told that our line that we're given is perpendicular to our plane. And so the case that we're looking at is something like this here, where this is our line, and the line is orthogonal to the plane, which means that for any vector in the plane, those vectors are all perpendicular to it. So look what we've got. I mean, we were after, we wanted to come up with this normal vector here. Well, it just needs to be a vector that is perpendicular to all of the other vectors in our plane, and we're given that when we're given the line L here. So in this case, line L has a direction vector v, which would be the direction vector 1, 2, and 4 in this case. So that's its direction vector. And we'll use that as our normal vector for our plane. So now we've got both a point and a normal vector, so we're ready to give the equation of a plane. You could write the plane this way, the plane's equation this way. You could write it as 1, 2, 4 dotted with the vector x plus 4 times, and then y plus 2 for the second component, and then z minus 5 for the third component, and set that equal to 0. That's a perfectly valid way to give an equation to a plane, but it's not what my math lab's looking for here. It wants it to be in equation form, and it does ask that you make sure that the coefficient in front of x be 1. So this is fine as far as I'm concerned, but to enter the answer to my math lab, let's go ahead and actually compute that dot product. So we do this times this, plus this times this, plus this times this, and that needs to equal 0. My math lab will accept this format, so you're perfectly fine to enter your answer in this way. But I think oftentimes what you may want to do is simplify this a little bit. If you distribute this 1 through, you distribute this 2 through, and distribute this 4 through, we would end up with x plus 2y plus 4z, and then let's see here, we'd have plus 4, another plus 4 is 8, minus 20 would give us negative 12. So if I add that over, I'd get a positive 12 here. So that's another way you could leave the answer. So my math lab will accept either of the two boxed answers, although conceptually any one of those three answers is a fine way to leave your answer if it were on a test or a quiz or something. Folks, I hope that helped. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you next time.